Hello engineers and welcome to my channel. I am Yash and in this video, I will show you how to create this amazing Netflix clone with Firebase as backend and Tailwind CSS for styling. You can create this project and add it to your portfolio so that you can get your dream job as junior developer. Now, if you are not familiar with Firebase or Tailwind, do not worry. We will be creating this project literally from scratch, literally from npx create react app and take it all the way to deploying it using Firebase hosting. To build this Netflix clone, we will be using all the amazing technologies. We are going to use Vite, Tailwind, Firebase, React icons. We will also use Axios to fetch data from IMDb API and much more. So let's get started. Okay, so first let me show you what we'll be building today. Guys, look at this. This is what we'll be building today. And as you can see, this is currently hosted on Firebase hosting. Okay, now look at this amazing banner. And if I refresh the page, we see another banner, right? Another movie, which is like totally random, right? Super awesome. And guys, we are fetching all this data from TMDB API. I will show you how to sign up and it's totally free. You don't need to use credit card for TMDB or Firebase or anything else to build this project, okay? Now, if you scroll down, you can see all this amazing poster of different movies, right? With this amazing labels, upcoming, trending, top rated, comedy. And we can just use this slider, amazing slider to scroll through the collection, right? Super awesome, guys, super awesome. And not just this, right? You can see this like icon here. If I click here, it will tell me login to save a movie. So we will be using Firebase authentication to create a user, right? So let's go ahead and do that. First, let me show you my Firebase. So this is authentication. If I refresh the page, there are no users. So let's go ahead and sign up. I click sign up, and here another thing, guys. So if we go back to my Firestore, now Firestore is Firebase database, right? Like think like that. Now here I have users collection. Now once I click sign up here, so dog@gmail.com and a password, I hit sign up and bam, look at this, guys. Sign up turns to logout and profile, right? And if I take you back to my collection, you can see that here we have a users collection with dog@gmail.com with saved shows as an array. Now this is database, and if we go back to authentication and refresh here, you can see a new user is just created, right? Now we can use same credentials to log back into our profile, right? Awesome. Now let me show you how like works, right? If I keep this open and keep this here, scroll down and just hit like here, and bam, look at this, guys. We just added a movie to our database, right? Click this. Awesome stuff, right? So right now we have 3 movies, and let's bump it up, go back to our profile, and now come on, profile, and we can see all these 3 movies right here, guys. Awesome. Now let's try to delete them, right? So I'll delete this, bam, out. Awesome, right? Let me show you one more thing. Go back, and we have this email as well, right? Which we will be getting from our database, right? Our authentication, Firebase authentication. Now let me show you one thing. I click this. Now if you go to profile, you see the movie Barbie, right? But what happens now? This is a profile, right? Now guys, we will be using React router DOM as well, right? And I will show you how to create protected routes. What do I mean by protected routes? Now look at this /profile, right? Right now I'm able to see /profile because I am logged in. What if I log out? I'm here, right? And of course there is no button to go to /profile. But what if I enter /profile right here and click here? Nothing, right? You cannot access profile because you are not logged in, right? Awesome, guys. So this is what we'll be building today from scratch. So let's open up our terminal and get started. Okay, so here I have my terminal opened up and I'm inside an empty folder. So let's go ahead and run the command npm create vite at latest. And if you are already inside the folder where you want to create the project, just hit period. But I want to name it Reacty Netflixy vite, and you can name it whatever you like. And hit enter, and it will ask you. Here we will select framework React. Actually, React is not a framework, it's a library. But anyways, React JavaScript plus SWC. Okay, ls, and we can see a new folder is created. So we will just cd here inside our Reacty Netflixy folder. And if I ls now, we can see public and source directory, right? Let's clear this up. And first, let's do code period so that it opens up my VS Code. And let's put our VS Code this side, right? Like, you know what, we can make it a little bit bigger and we can bump up the icons. Let's just see our app.js, right? I think this fonts are good. This is good, right? Let's do this. And let's keep this open as well. But next we need to do one more thing. We can keep this open. First, run npm I. Make sure you are inside your folder where all the public and mainly you need package.json, right? So make sure whenever you do ls, you see package.json and then run npm I. Okay, now everything is installed. So I'll just do npm run dev, which should open up. I mean, you need to go to this link. So generally it's 3000, port 3000, but this one is 5173. But we will change it right now. Okay, so go back to VS Code and search for, so I hit command P so that I can quickly search for a file. So it's going to be vite.config.js. Go down here and just say server. It's an object, and here we will say port, and port is going to be 3000. Now you can see 5173 port here, right? As soon as I save it, it's going to become 3000, right? And this will not work because it's 5173. It will work on localhost 3000. Okay. Now let's start by removing some stuff, right? We don't need app.css. We also don't need react.svg. We don't need vite.svg, right? From public folder. And inside this app.jsx, just delete everything. And I'll do rafce. Now this is an amazing plugin which I'm using, which lets you do this. So just go to extension and you will say, you can write React snippets, right? And you should see something like this by DS nudge there. If you have watched my other videos, you know I always use this plugin. So make sure you get it, right? And this will let you do this. So rafce, pretty fast, gives you a boilerplate, right? Now, if you go back, we see app here. We still have some styling here. So go back to index.css, remove all this crap and save it, and bam, awesome, right? Now this is a very basic project. Now let's install Vite, right? So what I'll do is I'll go to Google and I'll just say install Tailwind Vite. Very simple, guys. Google is our best friend, right? Now, as you can see, we are here. We already run this command already, right? So I'll copy this, right? This little icon is to copy, and I'll go back here and let's stop the server, paste it here, and it should do some tailwindy stuff, right? And just wait it to install. Okay, we are done. Go back here and copy this thing and go back to VS Code, and here we are going to search for Tailwind. Once again, guys, the shortcut is command P. Go here, remove all this, paste here, right? That's awesome. Next thing we need to do is copy this, right? And go to index.css. Once again, command P, and save it here. Awesome. Now let's run the server so that we can test our Tailwind stuff. Okay. Of course, we go here, and you know what, let's put it here so that we can see it along with our code. Okay, now this is a good approach. I think all of my students like this when we code and have output side by side, right? So let's test our Tailwind. So this is going to be text phi-xl text red. Now guys, if you're new to Tailwind, this is how you do styling, okay? Now, if you noticed, so if I start typing font, it will give me all this IntelliSense right here, right? You can see all this IntelliSense. Now for that, you may not be able to see all this because you don't have this installed. So search for Tailwind. Now this is amazing extension which will make your life a lot easier. So get it, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense, right? This is must have if you are going to use Tailwind. Awesome. So go back here. Now this is how it works. Now if you want to see what's happening behind the scenes, now eventually everything gets converted to normal CSS. So if you hover over text phi-xl, it will show you that when you use text phi-xl, what happens is font size is set to 3rem, which is 48 pixel, and line height is 1. Okay, that's what's happening behind the scenes, right? And this is what happens with color, and you can see similar for everything else, right? So we are going to do font bold, save it, and bam, look at that, guys, right? Super awesome. Now we installed Tailwind. We need one more thing. We need to add custom fonts, right, guys? So let's add custom fonts. Okay, now for fonts, I'll just open up my desktop, right? And I'll put this here as well. And as you can see, I have this Netflix Sans fonts, right? What I'll do is, and you will be, there will be a link in the description below. You can get the same fonts, right? So I'll just drag and drop inside my assets folder, right? Make sure you drag it inside your assets folder, right? Awesome. Now we don't need this, and also bump this guy up, and let's make this like this. Let's go back to our code and let's try to use this fonts, right? Best thing to do is remove all this styling for now, right? Remove all this styling, and instead of app, let's just say, let's say Netflix, and here, so inside our styling, we can say uppercase. This will make it all uppercase, right? Let's add our own fonts. So we already dragged our font files here inside assets folder. And here we will say font face, hit enter and open this. And this is going to be font family, and name it and sans regular, right? And next is going to be source, which is going to be a URL. And here I'll do period assets, and this is going to be Netflix Sans regular. Now save it. Here, let's just say body, and here we will just say font family, and this is going to be at this for now. So these are backup fonts. If this font fails, your website, your React application can try to use this font, right? So that it still is able to show stuff. Now here we will just say and sans regular, right? Now guys, once I save it, you will see the font changing, right? So I'll just go ahead and save it. And we didn't see much, right? No, I think we need to start the server. Okay, it's already started. So let's do npm run dev, and here we are. But a good way to verify is click inspect. Inside the inspector, what we can do is, so here we can filter for font family, and we can see and sans regular right here, right? I think when we make it bold or something, it will make more sense, right? Or another quick test is comment this out and save it, and we can see, right, a little bit of change. Okay, save it. Now similar to this, we need to do for rest of the other font faces. So what I'll do is I'll copy it from my notes and just paste it here, and I'll stick here for a second, and you can just type it out, right? Now this one's the regular, which we are using it here, and for others we will create a Tailwind extension, right? Make sure you type this out. I'll go to Tailwind, and here inside extend we will say font family, and this is again going to be an object, and here inside this what we will say is and sans light. Now this is going to be sans light, right? light, comma, and copy this, paste, and second one is going to be medium, and this is going to be medium, and this is going to be bold, and go back here and make this bold as well. And if you notice, right, like if I'm here, I'm selecting the whole word. For this, I'm pressing Command D, and I think if you're on Windows, it's going to be Control D, right? So it will select medium, right? And how this works is, so if I'm here and I select Command D, it will select the first instance. And if I hit Command D again, it will select another instance of same word, okay? And now you can actually edit all of them together, which is super handy, right? And which I'll be using it a couple of times during this project, okay? So I'll save it and let's test all these fonts out, right? What we will do is, so we have this here, and let's just create H1 here, and this is going to be Netflix. I hope it's okay. Paste, and we have 4 Netflix here, and let's just say class name. This is going to be font and sans light. Save it. Awesome. Look at that, guys. Do you see? This is going to be font and sans medium. Okay. Oh, something's wrong here. So medium is medium. Why it looks like medium and regular looks pretty similar, right? Medium. Oh, okay. Regular is supposed to be regular here. So regular, and save it. Okay. Now you can see the difference, right? So make this regular. I mean, so this is the default one. So this is going to be regular, right? And this one, let's make it font and sans medium, right? And this one is going to be font and sans bold, right? Super awesome, guys. You can see the difference, right? We can see all the font sizes, and which looks super sick, guys. If you really like this font, and I think many of you have never imported fonts like this, go ahead and hit that like button, right? Destroy that like button, guys. So let's go ahead and next thing, we need to install dependencies, right? So once again, stop the server, right? The way you do it is you hit, I think you hit Control C, right? I think, yeah, it's Alt C or Control C. Just figure it out, right? So dependencies which we need are, so first is, let's say React icons. We need React icons. We need React router DOM. We also need Axios. We need Firebase, and we also need, okay, for now, this should be fine. Let me double check my notes, and I think we need one more, which is going to be, okay, right here. Now this is going to be Tailwind scroll bar hide. Now this will let us hide our horizontal scroll bar, right? Which is super cool. So for now, we need React icons, we need React router DOM, we need Axios, Firebase, and Tailwind scroll bar hide. Hit enter, and it should install all the dependencies. And give it a couple of seconds. Okay, awesome. Should be fine now. Awesome. Just clear this, and we are here. And also, let's just clear this. We don't need all this right now. And we can start working on the project, right? This is too big. Okay. We also don't need uppercase. Now, let's start by setting up a React router DOM, right? So first, let's create a new folder inside our source folder, which is going to be called pages. And inside pages, we need home.jsx, and once again, RAFCE, save the file, create, so make sure you save it, and once again, create another one, which is going to be login.jsx, RAFCE, save it, and create another file inside pages. This is going to be signup.jsx, RAFCE, save it, and pages, last one, which is going to be profile.jsx, RAFCE, enter and save it. Okay, make sure you have some data inside all these files so that we can test all the routes, right? Save it, and also home.js. Save it. Now we can close all this tabs, right? The way you do it for Mac, it's Command W, and probably for Windows, it's going to be Control W, right? Close everything, open app.jsx. You know what? Before that, we need to open main.jsx. Okay, I think I hit some shortcut and it just got minimized. So let's open main.jsx, and here remove this. We don't need strict mode. And here start typing browser router, and for me it's asking me to import from React router DOM, and I'll hit enter, and you can see it added import statement right here, right? Make sure you do that. If you don't get auto import, right, just Google it how to make it happen. Otherwise, just type this statement out, okay? And I'll put this, copy it and put it below app and save it. Awesome, right? Now inside app.jsx, right? Right now I'm inside my app.jsx. What I'll do is I'll start by creating all the routes that I require. First, we don't need a div. We will create empty element here and just say routes. And once again, hit enter and it will auto import. Close it. And here we will add route. And this is going to have path of slash, and element is just going to be our home element. So home, once again, I'm not getting auto import here, right? But generally what I do is I go back to home, I hit save a couple of times, go back here, and hopefully this works, right? Home, awesome, right? Look at that, guys. And once again, we also need to close this. Let's copy this and paste it 3-4 times because we have 4 paths. This is going to be login, and this is again going to be login. And once again, I'm not getting auto import, so I'll just go to login, hit command save couple of times, and bam, look at that, guys. Awesome, right? This one is going to be sign up, and just say sign up right here. Let me just do it here. Let me show you how it's done. So I'll just copy paste here and change this. Once again, I did command D, right? So it's going to be sign up. Hopefully it works. And this guy here is going to be profile. And now this profile is going to be our protected route, guys. I'll show you how to make it protected later in the video once we set up Firebase, okay? So this is going to be profile. Oh man, let's go to profile, hit command, save a couple of times, come back here and profile, awesome, so that it auto imports, save it. We need to run our server, so it's going to be npm run dev, and we are here, and we can see home here, right? If I zoom in, we can see home here, and we can go to login, we see login, sign up, we see sign up, and for profile, we see profile. Awesome, right? Cool. So let's go back to home page, and we will start working on our navbar, right? So first, create a new folder here. This is going to be components, right? Inside components, we will say navbar. So not javbar, it's going to be navbar.jsx, rafce, enter, bam, right? Go back to app.jsx. Now, we want to use navbar everywhere, so it's going to be right here, right? We don't want it to be inside routes or anything, right? Because navbar exists everywhere. So now once I save it, we can see navbar on every path, right? On home, you know what? Can we style it? Is it? You know what? Just leave it. So even if we go to a login, right? So if I go to login, we still see navbar, right? And if we go back to home, we still see navbar, which is super cool. And that's how we want it. So we will start off by working on the HTML part, right? Here, just say div. And inside this div, we will have h1, right? And this is going to be a link, right? Actually, let me show you how it's done. So let's say link. And once again, it wants to import from React router DOM. So hit enter and it will create the import link right here, okay? I think this is a built-in feature inside VS Code. So hopefully all of you are able to auto import just like me. And if you were not able to auto import and you figured out how to auto import, please mention in the comment section below so other people can do it as well. Okay, so this is going to be linked. This is going to be our Netflix logo. So Netflix, save it and say class. This is going to be uppercase, text red, and say 600, font and sans bold, and cursor pointer. And we also want text 5XL. Save it. Bam! Look at that, guys. Looks so beautiful, right? It really looks like Netflix, right? Actually, the font is Netflix sans. So Netflix has their own fonts, and I think that's what we are exactly using, right? So I'm not zoomed in here. So this is completely so 100%, right? No zoom, right? Once I'm zoomed, you can see percentage here. But I'm command 0 and no zoom, right? And we are here. So what we'll do is, first of all, let's go to home and remove this. We don't want to keep seeing it, right? And that's the link there, right? After that, what we need to do is create a div here. And now this is going to be another link, and this is going to go to login. And here inside login, we are going to create a button which is going to say, you know what, let's just say login, right? Sign in doesn't make sense. Capitalize text white, right? I think, did we add index.css? You know what, we need to, so go back to index.css. Background color is going to be black, save it, and also add color, which is going to be font color, right? Default font color is going to be white, right? So that we don't need to mention it every time. So if I save now, we can see login here, right? Netflix is red because we mention it here. So you can override font color, right? So we can say text cyan 400 and it will pick up this one. But if there is no font color given, it will be white. So that's convenient when we have black background, right? So let's make it look like a button, right? This does not look like a button. And PR4, this is going to be padding right of 4 because we are going to add another button here. So just copy this guy and paste it here, which is going to be sign up. And here just say sign up, and we see sign up, right? So we need to add some other styling here. So capitalize BG red 600 PX6. And if you notice, guys, I'm not typing whole thing, right? So for here, I'm not like literally doing BG red 600, right? Notice what I'm doing. I'm doing BG red R600, right? It will pick it up. So that's what IntelliSense is, guys. Okay. So BG red PX6, PY of 2. Now PX6 is padding on x-axis. So padding left will be 1.5 rem. And padding right will be 1.5 rem. Okay, and you may have guessed PY is going to be top and bottom. Okay, and we also want it to be rounded. Save it, and we see rounded right there. Are we missing something? So it's going to be cursor pointer, and text is already white. So now this needs to go here, right? So for that, I think we need to style this div here. Are we missing something? I think so. We need to style here. Now this is going to be absolute, width will be full, right? Save it and nothing happens. Padding of 4. So P4 means padding on all axes. Basically left, right, top, bottom. Okay. Padding of 4, which is going to be 16 pixels, I guess. And when I save it, we can see padding right there, right? So padding of 4. Let's say flex items center justify between and Z of 50 as its navigation bar, right? Awesome, guys. Look at this. We are done here, right? Navbar looks super awesome. Now, if I click on login, it will take me to login. If I click on sign up, it takes me to sign up. And if I click on Netflix, it takes me to homepage. Super cool, guys. Super cool. Okay, so now our navbar is done. So next we will work on the hero hero page, right? The big movie poster that we see when we open Netflix, right? So we can see that. Let me see. This was my app, right? We will work on this poster right here. Okay. So let's go back to my project and close this as well. We also don't need this. And let's keep this open, right? So we will be working on this part. Okay. Let's first, we also need to get data from API, but first let's create a component which is going to be hero.jsx, RAFCE, save it a couple of times and go to home.jsx and remove this. We will have empty fragment here and let's say hero and make sure it's imported right here. Okay. So I save it and we see hero right here. Okay. So let's get, let me show you how you can get API, right? So go to Google and search for TMDB API and just click on the first link. Okay, very straightforward, guys. Okay, this is not it. This looks different. No, go back and go back here. So what if I search for TMDB? I think here, login. Okay, yeah, I think this one, it's the same thing. But anyways, just go to the moviedb.org, right? Make sure you go to this link, right? Right now you can see I'm logged in. I mean, I can log out and show you. Okay, I think we were at the right place, but we just need to click login. So I'll log in. But if you have never used TMDB before, just hit join TMDB and just fill out the form, right? And then you will be able to log in. Once you log in, you will see something like this. What you need to do is click here, right? Click here. If you hover, you will just see profile and settings. You need to click it, go to settings, right? And click on API. And here, this is your key, right? Guys, please don't use my API key. It won't work, right? I'll show you how to regenerate. So this is what I'll do once oh my God, big problem. Okay, now our app will not work because my key is changed, right? So this one will not work if I refresh because my key is disabled, right? Probably it won't work after some time. Anyways, this is going to be our new key, right? Please don't use my API key. So just go here, API, and copy this. So I'll copy it. Now go back to our project. Here, inside our source folder, right? Inside our source folder, I want you to create new folder, which is going to be services, and inside services, make sure it's inside source, and inside services, create movie services.js, right? That's it. And this is going to be a const key, and I mean, we can paste it here, but this is not safe, right? So what I'll do is I'm going to create a .env file. So it's going to be in my root directory, not inside source. So it's going to be .env, and this one. So if you are using vite, your environment variables need to start with this, right? So it's going to be vite tmdb key, and just paste it here. Okay, that's how it should be. And another thing, what I'll do is I'll go inside my git ignore and I'll add .env here, right? So basically you never push .env files to your GitHub, or just don't share it with anyone. They are supposed to stay on your computer, right? So that's that. I'll save it. Go back here. I'll save this. Okay, we don't need to save this. So what what we need to do is we will say import.meta.env.vite tmdb.key. Now this needs to match this guy here, right? It's pretty obvious. So make sure you do that. Okay, with tmdb, and you also don't need quotes, right? Just paste it here as it is. One good thing is just copy it from there and paste it here, right? So that there is no chance of error. And this is going to be base URL. You know what I can do is I'll just copy this and you can type it out, right? So these are all the endpoints, right, which we'll be using. Now what I have done here is, now here we have base URL, right? This URL does not change and it stays same for every endpoint we hit, right? So we have base URL. Basically, I have constructed my own string, and then this is the whatever you say, like path, and we add API key here, right? So that it's consistent and pretty easy if we need to change anything in future. And we also need to do export default endpoints, right? I mean, we can, you know what, let's keep default. Another thing we will be creating is another function. You know what, we don't need it right now. So let's go back to our hero and let's try to fetch some data, right? Let's see our key is working or not. So go back to hero, and what we'll do is here, okay, close this. So first we need state, right? So this is going to be movie. This is how we will keep track of the movie. And this is going to be use state. Hit enter and you should see this import right here. If you don't, just type it out, and I'll just save it. We also need use effect hook, and this is going to be arrow function, and this is going to be an empty array, right? Make sure it's a comma, right? There are two arguments to the use effect function. And here we will use axios, hit enter, and once again, you should see import statement at the top. And this is going to be endpoints. Once again, once you hit enter, you see this import statement. Basically, we are getting endpoints from that file we created, which is movie services. This is what we are going to use, right? A basic object, guys, right? And go to hero. And inside this endpoints, we will use popular. Then we will get a response, right? So go here and open it up, const movies. You know what we can do is we can console log response.data, right? Awesome. Now, okay, this one, and go back here, and I think something's wrong. Oh, right here. Do we see it? Okay, this is it. Okay, guys, results. Awesome. So another thing we can do is just say results. Awesome. Refresh again, and we get 20 movies, right? Guys, this is super cool. So we are able to get data using our new API key, right? Awesome. So now let's try to choose a random movie. So this is going to be movies response.data.results, right? And just say random movie. And this is going to be movies. And here we will do some math, right? So math.floor, math.random. And guys, see this, like I did not come up with this. I just Googled how to get random number, right? That's how everything works. Like I'm not that smart too, right? What I'm good at is I'm good at Googling. So what I do is, right, if you go here and just Google, right? Let's say JavaScript random. So basically React is JavaScript, right? So just say JavaScript random, right? And open W3 school, it will say math.random. And so what this will do is, and just click try it yourself. Now this will give you this kind of number, right? Which is what, we don't want that, right? If you go back to my source code, what we are doing is, this is movies array, right? This movies has 20 objects, right? 20 movie objects. Now we just want to pick a random object. So we need to pick a number between 0 and 19, right? Basically, that's what we are trying to do. Now we don't want this kind of number, right? We need a number between 1 and like 0 and 19 because it's an array. So now here, see, now it's telling us returns a random integer from 0 to 9. Now if we try it, every time you refresh, we get random integer. Now, but instead of hard coding 10, what we will do is we will add movies.length, right? So movies.length, and this should do the trick, right? Like literally, you know what you can do is just copy this formula and CLG here, paste it here. Now if we go back here, close this, and actually we don't need this page as well. You know, we can keep it open, but just move it to the side. And if we refresh the page, right here, number 9, refresh 11. So number will always be between 0 and 19, right? That's how you pick a random number. Now instead of just printing out random number, what we can do is print out random movie, right? Cool, right? See, every time, you know what, and we can narrow it down to title, right? So that it's easier to visualize. See, Meg 2, Saw X, Retribution, awesome guys, super cool, right? And so instead of console logging, what we'll do is just set it to our state, which is going to be this one, right? Once again, we are using useState hook to set a state, right? So that we can use it inside our div. Now, sometimes when you first load React component, it's still trying to fetch all this data. So what I like to do is, if there is no movie, right? I mean, many times it's so fast, you will never see this part, but sometimes if it's slow, your user can see what's happening. So if there is no movie, it will just return fetching movie, right? Okay. But right now it's so fast that we just get hero, right? Awesome. Next thing we'll do is, so we need a couple of things from our movie object. Okay. So after this part, so just say const, and we are going to use object destructuring, which is going to be title, backdrop path. Now this backdrop path is a link to poster, right? Release date. And we also want overview, and this is going to be movie. Awesome. I mean, we can change this movie to title, and we can visualize what's happening, right? So if I hit title, we can see after everything, Retribution, right? Super cool. And you can also add some Tailwind if you want, right? So what we can do is Control X this, H1, paste it here, and class. This is going to be text red. You know what? Let's just say cyan 500 and text 5XL and save it, and we can see the none too, right? I mean, our Z index is higher, so that's why we are seeing our nav bar before. But anyways, so we are getting our data, guys. So I'll close this. We don't need our console right now. So let's start working on the div, right? So first, let's start by adding classes to our parent div, which is going to be width of full. Height is going to be fixed. So this is going to be 550 pixels. And if, so now this is a breakpoint. Like if you don't know about this breakpoint, basically, so let me just type it out and I'll tell you what it is. So what this is saying is, right? So if normally, and first of all, Tailwind is mobile first. So all the styles you apply, they are mobile first. Then you can add breakpoints for larger devices, right? So what we are saying here is, when screen size is greater, right? Greater than 1024 pixels, height of this is going to be 850 pixels, right? And you will be able to see once we add image, what's happening, right? Once again, add another div, and this one is going to be width full, height full, right? And this is going to be a div class of absolute width full. And once again, we need to copy this. So just, you know what, instead of typing this, paste it here. Now, whenever you add box and add hard code the value, this is how you can add custom values to your Tailwind, right? And this is going to be a gradient to right. Basically, this is a backdrop, right? Gradient to right from black. I think probably we won't be seeing it because it's already black. So I'll just hit enter here. What happened? Okay, just hit enter here, and this is going to be our image. So instead of adding anything to alt, what we can do is we can add title to alt tag, right? So if there is no movie, we can see title here. Now let's add source. Now for source, let me show you. So this is going to be a path, right? This is how you get images, and this is going to be original, and here this is going to be backdrop. This is the file name, right? Actually, we need to use template literals, so remove that, inside this, and when I save it, and bam, look at that, guys, right? So as I keep increasing the size, you can see it Okay, we need to add some classes to our image, right? Let's do that first, right? So what I'll do is add some classes to our image. Now this one will have with a full height of full and object cover and object top. Okay, save it and hopefully it works. Whoa, look at that. Do you see, guys? See the height dropping, right? Do you see? Right now it's 550 pixels. As soon as we hit that 850 pixel breakpoint, I think we can see height in pixels somewhere. Let me open this. I think so first of all, let's see. So for large, it's what minimum width is 1024 pixel, right? So I'll do Command Shift M, Control, okay, Alt M, right? And if I open this up right now, so only if I able to drag it. So right now it's this, right? As soon as here you can see, I think this, so 1025, let's keep 1025. As soon as I make it smaller, the poster size decreases, right? That's what breakpoint is. So once again, go back, I'll put it to the side, okay? Looks cool, guys, right? So we are done with the image part. Now we need to add this text, right? See, our API has stopped working because I regenerated the key. I should have not done that. Anyways, so just go back. Let's keep working here. And do we see the backdrop? No, I don't think we see the backdrop because we don't want this div. And this div is going to be self-closing div. And now we see the backdrop, right? Did you guys see it? If I remove this line, you can see the difference, right? Now with the backdrop, it looks much cooler. So after image, we want to add some more divs, right? So first is going to be a div. Inside this, it's going to be h1. Now this is going to be our title, right? Title. And after this h1, we have another div. Inside this div, we will have button of play, and we will have another button which is going to be watch later. And after this div, we will have a p tag which is going to be release date. Save it, and another p tag. Now this is going to be overview. Awesome. But we just need to put style this, right? So first add absolute width full, and it should go up. What's wrong? So image inside width full, height full. So last three divs, I think we still need to add some more styling. So this top is going to be 20%, right? 20% inside square brackets. And when it's larger devices, we want it to be 35%, okay? And padding of 4, when for medium breakpoints, padding of 8. Save it, and okay, it just went up, right? So we still need to add styling to our h1 tag, which is 3XL. For medium, 5XL. Save it. You know what? We can make it 6XL. Yeah, 6XL looks good. 6XL font and sans bold. Save it. Wow, guys, look at that. And then we will style this. So margin top of 8 and margin bottom of 4, right? Once again, you can hover here and see margin top to rim, which is 32 pixels. This is going to be 16 pixels, right? Now let's style our button. This is going to be capitalized border gray 300 and py of 2. And guys, if you're building this project for your portfolio, I mean, you literally don't need to do everything as I do, right? You can play around, you can create your own buttons, you can add rounded, and just experiment with different stuff, right? That's how you will learn. And what we can do is just copy all this, or we can just type it out. Capitalize border gray 300, py of 2, px of 5, and ml of 4. Actually, we don't need, we just need ml of 4 here. We don't need it here because no point giving margin left right there. Now something is wrong here. Border gray. So top one is supposed to be BG, and now it should work. Now instead of text white, we want it to be text black so that we can see it. And it looks pretty neat, right? I think it looks sick. Okay, cool. Next, let's add styling to our p tags. Now this is going to be text gray of 400 and text small, right? Right here, this one. And let's also, now this, we can see that this overview is like coming out, right? So what we need to do is we need to truncate it. So if the overview is greater than certain length, we want to add like that dot thing, right? So let's create a function here, right? Which is going to be const truncate, right? And this will have two parameters, which is going to be string and length, right? And if string is not there, right, we just want to return this empty. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, this is not an arrow function. Now if I save it, it works. And if string exists, what we want to check is string.length is greater than length, right? If it's great, now we are using ternary operator here, right? So what we'll do is string.slice 0 to length and plus ... Otherwise we will just return string, right? Should work. And instead of overview, we will just say truncate, and this is going to be overview. And let's add 165 here. And once I save it, look at that, guys, we see ... right here, right? Looks cool. ... Super awesome, right? But we still need to style it. So this is going to be with full MD max width of 70%. And large is going to be max width of 50%. For Excel breakpoint, max width is going to be 35%. And text gray of 200. Okay, let me tell you what's happening here. So max width is how much width that element can use, right? So as we increase, you can see the text is not like going over there, which does not look great, right? And it's even harder to read, but it stays consistent and looks good, right? That's how it works, guys. So let's say for this whole thing, if I make it 100%, it will look really ugly. So instead of, let's say after Excel, we make it 100%. Now look at that, how ugly it looks, right? It looks good for other screens, but as soon as you hit Excel, right? If I refresh, it does not look that good, right? I mean, because we are truncating it still looks fine. But if I do 265 and look at this, it's really hard to read, right? So I'll just Command Z, make it 35 and make 165 again, right? Okay, awesome. Let's put this back here. So we have finished working. I don't know, sometimes it's just coming down. Oh, okay, I think sometimes it stays up. Huh. Yeah, I think it's running down, right? So let's make it 10%. And let's make this guy 25%. Yeah, I think it looks good better now. It looks better now, right? Otherwise it was just coming down, right? So that's how it works, guys, right? You need to play around with all the CSS, and once you keep working on projects and building more clones, you will get used to it, right? You will learn more. Okay, next we are going to work on all these rows, right? Once again, we are not able to see it because we have changed our API key. Okay, cool. Now let's start working on the row component. For that, we will create another component, which is going to be movie row.jsx, RAFCE, save it, and go to home. And here we will just say movie row, save it, and paste. Now, okay, save it. Looks good right here. We can see movie row. Okay. Now, first of all, let's just close all this tabs, right? We don't need all of them. And we forgot to do one thing. Let's go back to hero.jsx. what I want you to do is, because we will be using this link often, right? So I'll just copy this, right? Cut it, and we will go to movie services, and here go down. What I want you to do is create a new function. So create image URL and file name, and this is going to be size. Okay, and just say return and paste this here. All right, I want you to paste it inside backticks. Now instead of backdrop path, this is just going to be file name, and original, change it to size, right? Okay guys, this is super cool. Now this is totally reusable, and we will be able to use this when we create row component, right guys? That's how like it's pretty modular, right? And we can paste it here, right? And just say create image URL, hit enter, and it automatically imported here. But if it did not import for you, just make sure you have this line on top, right? And so here we need two parameters. So first is going to be backdrop path, right? And another one was size. For that, this one is going to be original, and save it. And now if I refresh it, it works completely fine, guys, right? Smash that like button for this create image URL, because it is super sleek, right? Now, right, like the good thing about this, we are going to use this create image URL in all the other components inside our project, right? Now, in future, let's say this TMDB site comes up and changes this URL. You need to come back to your project and just need to change once, and it will work for every other places where you have used this function, right? And same thing goes for base URL, right? So that is a really good approach, guys. Cool. So close this. We are done with movie services, and we also don't need index.js, index.css, and we are also done with hero.jsx. So open app.js. Okay, go to home. So that's command click and movie row, right? Now we will start working on our movie row. First of all, here we will get two things. First is going to be title and URL, right? Now URL is going to be the URL from where it is going to be a TMDB URL, and that URL will specify which movies to fetch, right? And save it. Cool. Let's add some basic, you know what? Yeah, we should do it. So first it's going to be empty fragment and h2, and this is going to be our title, right? Title, and save it. Now we don't see it because we don't have it. So go back to home, and we need to add bunch of titles, right? So we will have, let me see what we have here. Okay, so first title is going to be title upcoming. Okay, it should be a string, guys. Upcoming, and URL we will add it later. You know what? We can add the URL right now. So it's going to be endpoints. Make sure it gets imported on top, and this is going to be upcoming. And once again, title. Oops, title is going to be trending, and URL is going to be endpoints.trending. And once again here we want title. Oh my god, what's wrong here, right? Only if I can type top rated, right? Top rated. And you know what, we can just say top rated. And don't worry about capitalizing, guys. We will just add capitalizing using our CSS, right? A very sleek way of doing it. Title, and this is going to be comedy, and URL is going to be endpoints.comedy, and this one is going to be title. Oh my god, it's so bad. Popular, and this one is going to be endpoints.popular. Okay, cool, right? And we see our title right here, guys. So we need to style it, right? That's that we know. So go back to our movie row, right here, and we will just say class. This is going to be font and sans bold, and MD text Excel, and we want padding of 4, and we also want capitalize, save it. Wow guys, look at that, looks good, right? Super cool guys. And you know what, we should also fetch movies, right? So for movies we need state, and that is going to be movies set movies, and once again use state, and this is going to be an empty array for now. And we also need use effect, so use effect, and here we will have this, and we also want it to change if the URL changes, right? So movie, okay, yep, so we want it to change when URL changes. So what we will do is axios, once again make sure it's imported on top, get URL dot then. Now this will have some response, right? And you know what, if you want I can show it to you, but you know what, instead we can just set movies res.data response.data.results, right? Save it, and we can log it here, maybe just say console log.movies. And if I open this up, wow guys, look at that, we are getting all this movies, right? And popular, trending, and all sort of movies. Super cool guys, super awesome. Okay, next thing we will do is let's just add a poster and all that stuff, right? So that we can see the pictures. So after h2, what I want you to do is add a div. Now this div will have class of relative flex items center, and we also want group here. You know what, I'll show you group later. So after div, inside this div we will have another div. Now this div is going to be width full, height full, and overflow x scroll, and white space no wrap, and scroll smooth, and scroll bar height. Okay, for that we need to go to Tailwind config, and inside this plugin just say require, and this is going to be Tailwind scroll bar height. Save it, and now if you go back you can see scroll bar height. Save it right here, okay? And this div will also have ID of we want to use this brackets, and I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why later when we work on implementing the slider. Now inside this, what we will do is movies.map. Now this is going to be a movie, and open this up, and you know what, for now we can just say h1 and just say movie.title and save it. Look at that guys, super awesome, right? Now let's work on the movie part, right? Eventually, now instead of working inside this map, right, what we can do is we can create a new component. Now call it movie item, right? Because this is going to be one item, RAFCE, save it, and this will take movie, right? We will pass in a movie here, and for now let's just remove this, right? Remove this and say p tag, and here we can say movie.title, right? Save it, go back here, and instead of h1 just say movie item. Save it. Now if you save it, you don't see anything because we need to pass in movie here, right? So first of all, let's add the key here. So movie.id, there is ID when we get a movie, right? I can show it to you. So movie, and let's just pass in the movie from right here, okay? This movie, we are passing it here, save it, and now we see this again. And this ID is passed with this movie, you know, I can show it to you. So after movie.title, we can say, you know what, let's do add this, and also add brackets and add a $sign. And what we can do is do this, and we can also say movie.id. Awesome. Now if we say save it, guys, we see ID here, right? Now this are always unique, right? That's how databases work. And anytime you are using API, I'm pretty much sure there is a unique identifier, right? That's how you know, that's how you differentiate between two pretty similar objects, right? So we get movie ID, and the reason you need to add it here is, so if you remove this, right? If you remove this and open your console, you will always get this error, right? Each child in a list should have a unique key. Now this is because this is how React knows if a state changes for a particular item in a map, right? It will just update that item, and it is identified using this key, and it needs to be unique, okay? And now if I save it and refresh again, we don't get the error, okay? This is for something else. Don't worry about that, right? And as you can, if you open this up, open this, we actually get all this data, okay? All this data, we get it. Cool. Now close this. Now instead of showing names, right, which does not look great, let's go and show our posters, okay? First, remove this, go back, add class here, and we will need a state here, but we can add that later. So relative width is going to be custom width, so which is going to be 160 pixels. For small, it's going to be width of 200 pixels, and for medium, it's going to be width of 240 pixels, so 240 pixels, and large is going to be width of 280 pixels. Guys, I know this is a little messed up to type, but just we need to do, right? Inline block, rounded large, overflow hidden, and cursor pointer, and M2. And guys, all this stuff, like, it's not really in my head. I do have my notes with me right now, right? And like getting styling right first time, it's really difficult for anyone. So you don't think that like I'm not a pro or something. I made this project like 3 times before I'm showing it to you. So I mean, I'm just seeing it from my notes and typing it out. So, but if you are working on your own project and like don't feel that somebody else is able to do it like quickly, like anyone on YouTube, right? If you see any project which are like so big, which are bigger than 1 hour or 30 minutes, like I'm pretty sure there are notes, right? There are notes, okay? And there is no point remembering all this, right? So I'm seeing it from my notes, just letting you know. And this is going to be alt tag. You know what? We can use object destructuring right here. So we can say const title and movie. Now this is not in my notes, but still we are making it so that it's just better, right? Now, okay, we have title here. So let's add source here. Now this is where we will use our create image URL once again, which is going to be movie. Now this is going to be backdrop path, and let's add, and this was supposed to be size, right? If you remember, so backdrop path, and we need to do it here. So backdrop path, save it. And now we see images, guys. Super awesome. Okay, and we also want poster path. Let me tell you why. Save it. Now if you scroll down, let's bump it up. Okay, what happened? Let's increase the size. If you scroll down, we don't get backdrop path for this, right? This movie does not have backdrop path. This one does not have it too. And like I have a, like I'm scrolling on my mouse pad here, but for you, if you're using a computer, you won't be able to scroll like this. But don't worry, guys, we are going to add buttons, okay? But I'm just trying to show you guys, this are empty. We don't want them to empty. We don't want them to be empty. So what we'll do is, if there is no backdrop path, what we want to do is we want to use poster path, right? And if I refresh now and increase the size, we can see now these are posters, right? We just need to fix the styling. So what we'll do is add some CSS to our image tag. So width of full height is going to be 40, right? I think height, did we add it above? Okay, no, and this is going to be block, object cover, and object top. Save it, go back, and look at that, guys, right? We see all this as well, which is super sleek, right? Awesome. So that is done. Now we need to add backdrop and add title to it. Okay, and let's just put it here. So after the image tag, what we have here is, this is going to be our backdrop. Now backdrops are, okay, we don't want it to be self-closing because we are going to add title to it. So absolute, top 0, left 0, width of full, and height of 40, right? It should match this height. So if you're changing this height, make sure you change this height. Okay. BG black, and this is going to be 80, and opacity is going to be 0. On hover, we want opacity to go to 100. Save it. And inside this, we want a p tag. This is going to be movie.title. And once I save it, probably if we look at that, guys, we see movie title, right? But we just want it to be in the center. So first, let's add classes here. So white space, normal, text extra small. So text extra small. And for medium, it's going to be text small, flex, justify center, items center, and height of full, and font and sans bold. Okay, save it, go back, and now if we hover, we see title and it's in center, and it looks really cool, right? Now we need to work on the like icon, right? We still don't see the like icon, so let's go ahead and add like icon. First, we need to import them. So the way we do it is, so import this from React icons. Now we need to add slash, and here we are going to use FA. Let me show you how all this works. So open this up, Google, and just search for React icons. Go here. I'm showing you how to search for icons, right? So right now we are going to use heart. So heart, search for heart. Now look at this, guys. There are so many icons here, right? So we are going to use FA heart, which is right here, right? Now if you click it, it will copy, right? So if I click here, you can see copied FA heart. So go back here. I'm sorry. So you can just say import, paste it here. From, it will always be React icons, but after that add slash, and you need to add the first 2 letters. So in this case, it's going to be FA. Okay, that's how you import it. We also need another icon. Now this one is going to be FA regular heart, right? Okay, I'll close it. But guys, do make sure, right? Once you pick your icons, make sure you close this website, because I think it's really resource intensive. And if you have a slow computer, it will just make it more slower. Okay, just a quick tip, and I'll also put it on site so that we see this. I'm sorry. I'll just have some water. Okay, let's continue here. So what we want here is, after a p tag, we want another p tag, and inside this p tag, now I was talking about the state, right? So here we can add state, which is going to be like, set like, and this is going to be a use state, which is going to be false. By default, it's going to be false, but we will work on it later on. But for now, we will just say like question mark, and here we will just say FA heart. This is going to be normal heart, and if it's not light, then we want to use FA regular heart and save it. And now we will be seeing heart. Okay, we are not seeing it because of rounded corner and padding. So right now let's add, okay, we should not add classes here. Let's add styling here. So what I'll do is I'll select this one as well by pressing Command D 2 times. And first add size, which is going to be 20. Go here, let's add classes. So absolute, top 2, left 2, text gray 300, save it. And now we should be able to see the heart, right? We are still not able to click it, but we are able to see it. Now we will come back to this and make it clickable, right? So that we can add it to our Firebase database, guys. But for now, let's just stop. Let's start working on the sign up and login page, right? Because front end is looking pretty good. Okay, now let's close all these tabs and we will open signup.jsx and also go to sign up page here as well. First, let's start by adding our HTML, right? So I'll just cut this and this will be empty, and here we will have div. Div will have class of with full edge screen, save it, and inside this div we will have image, and all this just going to be this. Now for this image, what we will do is, let me show you how to get that image. Just open private browsing, so Netflix. Now I think I'm in India, so it will show me like /in probably. Can I remove it? No, I think it is just picking it up. So anyways, doesn't matter. We need this image right here, right? So for that, what we will do is, you know what, just do inspect, and here, this is the link here. So you can command click it and it will open this, and just copy this link. Okay, close all this, we don't want that, and come back here and just put it here inside the source, right? Now if I need to start my server. Okay, started, and it should work now. Okay, we see this image. Now need to add some classes here. So this is going to be hidden on mobile devices, and once we hit small breakpoint, we want it to be a block, absolute, widthful, heightful, and object cover. Now it will look amazing, guys, right? It looks a little blurry because the resolution is not that great, but we will be adding a backdrop, so don't worry about that. Now this is going to be a self-closing tag. So so basically what we need to do is div and just do this. Okay, don't have a closing tag, and here this will have class of bg black, and this is going to be 70, fixed, save it, top 0, left 0, with full edge screen, save it. Awesome. Look at the backdrop, guys, looks amazing, right? Now after this we will have another div. Now this is the div where we will have our form and all that stuff, right? So first class, fixed with full px4, py24, py24, and z of 20, save it, and inside this we will have another div class. Okay, we need something to see, right? So inside this div we will have another div. Inside this div we will have h1. This is going to be sign up, save it, and okay, we see the sign up. So now let's add all the CSS so that we can see what's happening, right? Max width of 450 pixels, and height is going to be 600 pixels, guys. So height is going to be 600 pixels. MX auto BG black, and this is going to be 80, and rounded large. Save it, and awesome, right? I think we need we need to have some padding, so I think padding comes next. So inside this one is going to be max width of 320 pixels, and MX auto and PY of 16. Save it, and we see it, we see there's some padding right there. Okay, for the h1 we will have class of text 3xl, font sans bold and sans bold, and wow, amazing, guys, amazing. Now we will have form, right? But we don't want action here, right? We will have on submit handler, but we will work on it later. So inside the form, let's add some classes to the form with full flex column and py of 4. Inside the form we will have input. Now this one is going to be of type email, and it will have placeholder of email, autocomplete of email. Save it, and let's also add some classes, which is going to be p3, my2, bg gray 700, and rounded. Save it. Looks amazing. So just copy this and paste it here. Save it. And this time this is going to be password and autocomplete. So autocomplete is going to be current password. Now with this autocomplete, like your browser is able to autocomplete, right? Like it suggests you, if you remember, like when you try to log into your Gmail or something, your browser tells you, do you want to use this login? It uses this to identify that this text field is email, this other text field is password and all that stuff. Okay, that's how it knows. Now this one is going to be a button, and button is going to be sign up, and this will have class of pg red 600, py of 3, so padding y-axis 3, margin y of 6, and rounded, and font bold, so n sans bold. Save it and sign up. Looks great, guys, looks great. So next we need to add some stuff here. Now I think we can see that part. If we go to sign up, we need to add this remember me, need help, and already subscribe to Netflix, that part. Okay, so after button there is going to be another div. Now this one will have class of flex, justify between items, center, text gray 600. Inside this we will have p tag. Inside that we will have input. This is going to be checkbox, and we don't want all this. Now type, and class name is going to be margin right, so that there is some padding. Now we will add some functionality to it, like we are going to add state to it, but after some time. And this will be remember me. Save it, and if we go back we see it right here. Awesome, right? Now if you don't add margin, right, you can see what happens, like they come pretty close. We don't want that. Okay, so after that p tag and this div, what we want is another p tag. So p tag, okay, this p tag was supposed to be here, and this is going to be need help question mark. Okay, what happened? Okay, and this is going to be another p tag, which will have class of margin y of 4. Inside this we will have span. Span is already subscribed to Netflix, and this is going to be a link. Okay, so make sure you import it. So once you hit enter, make sure you have this link here, otherwise it won't work. Okay, and this is going to be to login. So login, stop it, sign in, save it. Okay, need to add some styling. So this span will have style of text gray 600. Save it. Okay, looks amazing. And what we can do is mr2, just like before. And now if I click sign in, it takes us to sign in page, and if we go back, sign up works completely fine. Now let's just make this functional, and when you hit sign up, we can like print out email and password, right? That is something we can do. So for that we need to add state, right? Okay, how we do that is, so we are going to use useState. So remember login, set remember login, use state true, const. Now I'll tell you why, right? So set email, use state, and this is going to be empty string, const password, set password, and once again this is going to be empty string. And also make sure you have use state in your import statement. Okay, let's make email functional. So very simple, guys. So value is going to be email, and on change what we'll do is we will do this and just say set email, and this is going to be e.target.value, and what we can do is just copy this whole thing and paste it below for our password. So this is going to be password, and also this is going to be set password. Okay, I probably should work fine. And also for remember me, our checkbox. So, and we are not going to use it later on, but what we can do is checked. If we just do check, it will tell us that a component is changing an uncontrolled input, right? So I don't want this error. For that, we have already created the state. So checked is going to be remember login, and on change, we will do set remember login, and we will just change the polarity, right? Save it. And now if we refresh, we don't see the error. And now it's already checked. The reason is, right, when you refresh, it's checked because this is set to true. Now, if I make it false, you see that the default is false. So default is unchecked, right? So if we go back to true, it's checked. Cool. Now let's try to print our email and password, right? So const handle form submit, and this is going to be an arrow function, CLG. So what we can just do is email and CLG password, save it, and form will have on submit handler. So on submit, this is going to be handle form submit. And so let's say blah 1 2 3, and if I hit sign up, nothing works, right? Okay, it is supposed to be email, so gmail.com, because it knows the type is email. Now if I hit sign up, okay, there is a problem. We do see this output. I don't know what that is, but the page is refreshed. We don't want it to refresh. So what we will do is we get this. So e.prevent default. This will stop it from refreshing. So blah at gmail.com and 1 2 3, sign up. Cool. Look at that. We are able to print it out. Awesome. Now our login is going to be pretty similar, right? So what we can do is literally copy all this, right? Literally copy everything inside this. So let me bump it up, and on this side we can open login here, save it. So first copy this because we need that to save it, and copy everything from here till here, copy, cut this, paste it here, save it, and let me just bring it back. So we don't want here, we are going to work here inside login. Now if I save it and go to login, we see same thing, but we need to change some stuff. Okay, so this is going to be login instead of sign up. So login, right? Now we can see the difference, right? So sign up is sign up, login is login, but still we need to change this. So change this to, let's say, new to Netflix, and this will become sign up. Save it, and this is going to be login, and everything should work just fine, right? Probably, yep. And we can just test it out. So blah at gmail.com and blah 1 2 3, and if I hit login, okay, everything works completely fine, guys. So now we are on the exciting part of Firebase. Okay, so first we will start off by implementing authentication. So we will make sign up, and guys, we are going to use context API, right? So let me show you how it's done. First, let's start up just go to Google, very simple, Firebase console. Go here, and just a second, let me open up my notes so that we can see what's going on. Click here, very simple, guys, and just say get started. Or actually we should have clicked anyways. So we will click add project here, and this is going to be Reacty Netflixy vite, because, and make sure, okay, just hit continue. We don't want Google Analytics. Create project, bam, guys, super simple. Okay, and once it's done, it should take some time. We need to do one thing, right? Before we do that, what we can do is go back to Firebase, go back to VS Code, and inside your source folder, okay. So inside your source folder, create a new file, which is going to be Firebase. Actually, you know what? We can create inside services. So this is going to be firebase.js. Okay. And we are going to use this file, guys. So now we are inside the project. Okay. Here, once you are here, once you see this part, right? Get started part, click on web, right? Because we are on web, and just name it. It will take some time to be enabled. So Reacty Netflixy Vite, Vite. I mean, I think it doesn't matter, right? And we will be doing Firebase hosting, but we are going to use CLI for that. But so make sure it's unchecked. Register app. And guys, we have already installed Firebase in our project. So if I go to packet.json, we can see Firebase here, right? So everything is done. Copy this part. Once again, guys, this is supposed to be private information. Once I'm done with the project, I will be deleting my Firebase project and of course my TMDB API keys. So make sure you get your own. Okay, just follow me, right? It's really simple, guys. Okay, we are here now. Once again, this is not safe, right? So we will move everything to .env file. So we will go here. You know what? I don't like .env there. I want env to be on the first screen, right? What we will do is, to make life easier, I'll just copy all the strings, right? At least that will avoid me from typing, right? So I'll bring it here. Click all this because we don't want it. Okay. Now this API key will come from here. So copy it, paste it. Once again, equal to, copy this whole thing and copy, okay, cut it so that we know what we have already used. So, and guys, everything is in order. So just do step by step. And this is going to be React Netflixy bucket. I don't know. Yeah, we are going to use storage. So make sure we have that as well. And we need this app ID. Guys, once again, do not use this credentials, right? Okay, I'll just save it. And we need to shift tab this so that we are all aligned. Okay, my environment variables are saved up. Now let me show you a cool trick, right? So I'll save Firebase as well. Now go to Firebase. Let me show you something cool. What we can do is we can use object destructuring. So we don't need to type import.meta.env every time. And come here, go back to this .env thing, copy this, go back here, paste it. Okay, what we will do is we will select this equal to, press Command D, and if you're on Windows, Control D, hit backspace, it will delete your equal to, and if you click Control K, right, it will delete everything and just add comma here. Super fast, right? And if you don't want to hit Command K, you can just like select all, like Shift Command A or Control A and just remove it and comma. Okay, pretty straightforward, and just need to add all that stuff here so that it works. So API key, just start typing, you will get it. So D auth domain project ID store bucket and messaging sender ID app ID. Okay, save. Awesome. So we are done here, but we are going to use authentication. So go back here, continue to console. So first go to build authentication, and of course we are going to use authentication. So get started, and email and password, enable this, save it, bam. So we have enabled authentication, right? So if you go here, there are no users, and we have this enabled. Okay. Another thing we need to do is Firestore database. And once again, we are going to click get started only if this loads, create database, right? And make sure you select region closer to you, right? If you're in United States, select something in United States. If you are in wherever, right? If you're in Europe, you can select London, Frankfurt, Zurich, or anything you like. Now I'm in India, but sometimes this Mumbai servers are slow. So I'll select Singapore. Singapore is pretty close. So there should be no problem. Now make sure to select start in test mode, right? Like make sure you do this, otherwise it won't work, right? You know what, just in case, right? Let's say you end up selecting this. Let me show you how you can fix it. Okay. Okay. Guys, smash that like button for Firebase, right? Firebase is so cool. You are going to love it, right? So, I mean, database provisioning takes some time. So let's just stick here for a while. Okay, you know what? Go back to VS Code, and until then we can import some stuff. So import get auth. Now this is going to be for our Firebase. So Firebase, and this is going to be auth, and this is not right. I know, get auth. Okay, so import. That's why I like to add this packages first, so that we don't make like a mistake, right? And then if you do, VS Code knows what to suggest, right? And then you will do export const auth, and this is going to be get auth, and just pass in this app. Now this app comes from here, okay? And you don't need to export app. So make sure you just export this to, and DB is going to be get Firestore app, and done. So we are done with this part, like Firebase part. We won't be needing this file. So I'll just close it, even .env file. So close it. If we go back, now, as I said, if you've selected production before, your rules should look something like this. Now, this won't work, right? So if you ended up selecting production, only if you selected production, right? If you selected test mode, then you don't need to worry about it. You will be fine for 30 days, okay? But here what I'll do is, I'll just set it to true and publish, okay? If you selected production, change it to true and hit publish, you will be fine, okay? So cool. Let's put this back here. And let's start by creating our context, right? So for context, what I'll do is, I think we should create new folder, but we can also put it inside. You know what, let's just create a new folder, context, and this file is going to be auth context.jsx. Okay, make sure it's JSX. If it's not JSX, Vite will yell at you for some reason, right? I don't remember, but make sure it's JSX, because when I was working on the project, I ended up using JS, and it was having some issues. So first, let's start by having auth context and create context. Once again, hit enter. It should be importing from React. Okay, create context, and this is going to be export function auth context provider. This will have chill run, and open this. Now inside this, what we will do is we are going to return. So return, this is going to be auth context dot provider, close it, and inside this just pass in children. Okay, and this will have a bunch of values, so don't worry about it right now, just keep it like this. Okay, and export function user auth and return use context and auth context. Okay, now this auth context comes from here, guys. Okay, now inside this we are going to have a bunch of functions. Okay, let's just set everything up. We are going to have a state. So for user, so user and use state. Now this is going to be empty object. Okay, let's create all the functions. So sign up, and this will have argument of email and password, and pretty straightforward, guys. Here you will just say create with create user. Okay, it is not auto suggesting me. So now we need to import all this stuff. So let's import from Firebase auth, and we need create user with email and password. We want sign in user. Okay, sign in with email and password, sign out. And do we need something else? Yeah, I think we need on auth state change. Okay, we need four of these, so make sure you have it. I think we also need auth and db, but probably we should be able to get it. You know what, let's just do it, right? If auto import doesn't work, so auth and db from dot dot. Okay, where was our Firebase? So inside services, Firebase. Okay, nice. So we have sign up. So let's work on sign up right now. So create user with email and password. Now this will take auth, email and password. Okay, save it. That should be fine, guys. This is how simple Firebase is. Okay, function login. Now log in this. I mean, you can name it whatever you like. Just don't name it sign in, because I think it, it's not about login, but don't name sign out because it clashes with this. So just make sure you do that. Sign in with email and password, auth and email and password. Now guys, if you forget this auth, it won't work. Okay, this auth comes from services, right? We created this file, and this is the auth which we are using, right? I think that's how your app, that's how Firebase knows that this is the app it is working with. Okay, and it's your app. So don't name this sign out, otherwise it won't work. So you can name it log out, and just do this return sign out, and we just need to pass in auth here. Okay, now in this value we need to send user sign up, login, log out, and we also need to do one more thing, right? So we are going to use effect. Now what this will do is, whenever state changes, right, whenever user signs in or whatever happens, this will update your app accordingly, right? So unsubscribe, and you can name it anything you like because it's just a constant. So auth, so on state change, auth, current user, set user, and this is going to be current user. Okay, pretty simple guys. And also return, and this is going to be arrow function unsubscribe, save it. Awesome. So we are done with auth context part. I mean, we will be coming back to this for our Firestore, because as you can see, we have still not used our DB, but don't worry about that. We can come back for it later, right? Now let's start using our auth context, right? So first go to app.js, and we are going to surround everything with auth context provider. Now I think we can do this in our main.js, right? We can surround app. We can do it here as well. I think it's one and the same thing. No, let's keep it here, right? Maybe in future, if you want to do something which does not require auth context, then you can add it outside. Okay, but we will be needing it in navbar and every other route. So that's that. Now let's start by fixing sign up with our auth context, right? So we will go to sign up, and here what we need to do is, first we need to import two things, which is going to be user. Oops, you know what? Let's do this. User auth. Right. Once again, make sure you get this import link. Okay, we are importing from auth context. Now this is what we are trying to get from. Okay, so make sure you see this import link, and we messed up somewhere. So const user auth, and make sure you add this parentheses. If you don't add this parentheses, once again, it won't work. So user sign up, not this one. So sign up, right? I think you don't get autocomplete for auth context. Yeah. Anyways, we also need a navigate. Navigate is use navigate. Now this comes from React Router DOM. Once again, make sure it's imported. Okay. Now remove all this console logs. We don't want them. And we will use try catch block. So try and await sign up. And here we will just say email and password. And if it's successful, we want navigate to homepage. Okay. And catch error if there are any errors. And we can just say error. Okay. Save it. And this is yelling because await, we need to add async modifier. Okay. Okay. Fingers crossed, guys. Let's go back. Let's go back here. Let's click sign up and see what happens. Okay, we are here. Our authentication is completely empty, as you can see. Go back. I'll just say dog@gmail.com, and I think this is dog1234. And if I click sign up, wow, guys, see, we were redirected. That means we are successfully logged in. And if I refresh this page here, wow, we see dog@gmail.com, right? So now let's change this to log out if a user is logged in, right? And also have a profile here. And we can also work on protected route. So first we will go to navbar. So go to navbar, and here what we need to do first is we need user from auth. So, oh my God, I cannot spell const correct. So log out, and this is going to be user auth. Once again, you see the import link on the top. Const navigate, and this is going to be use navigate, once again from React Router DOM. Okay, now we need to do two things. First, let's do it here after link. So if do this user.email, if user.email exists, what I want you to do is copy this whole thing. I want you to copy this whole thing, paste it here, and if it does not exist, open another one and paste it here. Actually, we should have used cut, but remove this, right? And inside this, first of all, this is going to be logout. I mean, we don't need link because it's going to be just logout, and we can just say log out, right? And remove this link. What did I remove? We want the button log out, save it, and we see log out, guys, because the user is logged in. Super cool. And this is going to be profile, and save it, and this is going to be profile, right? Save it. Awesome. So right now, what's happening is if you click profile, it will take you to profile, right? But we need to make logout functional. So how you do it? So on click, we need to say for button, no, this is sign up. Here inside logout, on click, handle logout. Okay, and let's create this function, const handle log out and async, and just say try, and this is going to be log out. And once user logs out, we want to navigate to, once again, homepage. And I think we can do this in one line, CLG error, probably. Oh, okay. I think we need parentheses. It's mandatory. It here and save it. And I think we should be able to log out now. If we click log out, guys, we are logged out. Now, what we need to do is, let's work on the sign in first, so that we can sign in. We don't need to delete the user again. So if we go back here, nothing happens right now, right? Probably if I hit login, I think we are just seeing the printout, dog@gmail.com, and we are just seeing dog1234. Okay, now let's go to sign in. So log in. Pretty, I think for by now you may have figured it out, right? It's pretty straightforward, guys. Firebase is really easy to use. So first we need user and log in from user auth, right? This is going to be pretty similar to sign up, and navigate is going to be use navigate, and make sure it's imported on the top. Here, remove this, and it's going to be a try block, await login. Guys, one of the reason this looks pretty simple is because we are using context API, React's context API, guys. Super cool. And we also need catch block, and make sure we are just logging it out and save it. This is yelling because we need to add async. If I refresh, there are no errors. And now, guys, are we able to log in? Okay, dog@gmail.com, login. Bam, guys, look at that. We get profile, right? Awesome. Super cool. And I think let's remove all this. So if we go to, I think this is movie row, and let's remove this CLG because we are getting a bunch of this printouts. We don't want that. And now we can go to profile, right? Now let's work on the protected route, guys. Protected route. For that, we need to create a new component, which is going to be protected route, route.jsx. Pretty simple, RAFCE. Save it first, and we also need children here. So children, guys, we don't need to pass children. So children is basically anything inside an element, right? When we will use protected route, right, like this, anything inside it is going to be the children, right? I'll show it to you. And this is going to be user, this is going to be user auth, right? Imported, make sure it's imported. If user does not exist, what we want to do is return navigate. Of course, it should be imported from React router DOM. Okay, this is a self-closing tag. Make sure it's self-closing. And this is really straightforward. We will just return children. Okay, it's pretty simple, guys. That's it. Now, in order to use it, go to app.js. Now we need to surround profile, right? I'll just copy it. And what was that? Protected. Oh my God. I don't know. Save it again. Go to protected route. Save it again. And now we get it, protected route profile. Now, guys, this thing. So if I save it, this thing, anything inside protected route, right? Maybe if we have div or something, it will it is called children, right? So in current scenario, this children is going to be our profile, this profile element. Now if I save it, what's wrong? Why? Okay, profile, we don't have anything here, but you do see profile here, right? Now what happens if I log out? Now if I go to profile, look at that, guys, it does not work. Smash that like button for protected route, guys. Super awesome. Super amazing. Now let's log in using dog@gmail.com. Of course, we have our user here. Okay, so we are done with protected route. We are done with all the authentication part. We are able to log in, we are able to log out, and we are also able to sign up, guys. Now we need to work on this like part, right? We need to set up Firebase. So first step for Firebase, what we need to do is go to auth context, right? Auth context. The reason we are doing it here is because every time user signs up, we need to do two things, and for that we need to import from Firestore. So I'm going to say import from Firebase Firestore, and we are going to import doc and set doc. Okay, make sure you get this. And when the user signs up, what I want you to do is set doc. Inside this we will have a doc, right? Sorry, doc, and this doc is going to be db. Once again, this db comes from our this thing, right? The file which we created when we were setting up Firebase. Okay, so db, and this is going to be users. I mean, you can name it whatever you want, but users sounds good to me. And here we are going to say, you know, fave shows. Okay, and this is going to be an array. Now Now the fun part is, let's say log out. Actually, we need to delete the user. Right? We also need Firestore. So let's open Firestore. So I'll delete the user, delete account. So we don't have any user right now, and we don't have any data inside our Firestore, right? Okay, guys. And did you see, guys, right? Because of this use effect, right? Because of this use effect, right? As soon as we deleted the user, Firebase notified our app that the user no longer exists in its authentication, right? In its authentication database, and we were logged out. Okay. Now let's try signing up, right? Once again, we are going to use, we can use something else. Let's come up with cat@gmail.com, and we can say cat1234, and I'll sign up. Bam, we are logged in, guys. And hopefully we have created the database, right? We have created a user document. Now if I refresh this, bam, guys, look at that, cat@gmail.com and fave shows. Okay, now let's make it functional. Okay, first, and the way we do it is, for that we will go to movie item, right? Close this. Let's close everything. And movie item, right? Movie item here. Now we have the state here. We need to create a new function. So this is going to be fave show, mark fave show, right? And make this async, and this is going to be this const user email. So we need to get user email, save it. If user email, basically if user exists, user doc is going to be doc. And okay, I think we should import all this. We also need to import db probably. Okay, let's import from Firebase Firestore, and we need to import three things: array union, doc, and update doc. Okay, guys, and we also need db right here. So I think probably we can auto import db. So doc, right? Doc, and inside this doc we are going to say db. Okay, auto import, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So we are going to get db from, I think, services, and it's going to be Firebase, guys. Okay, make sure you do this. db, once again, user email. Now why we are doing this, what we are trying to do is, we are trying to get this particular document, right? Just imagine there are a lot of users, right? Cat, dog, mouse. We are fetching this document so that we can update it, right? So that is what this says, and we are going to manually like it, right? Change the polarity, await, update doc. Here we will pass in user doc because that is what we are trying to update. And here this was what fave shows. Make sure it's similar to what you named it. And array union. Now array union is a feature from Firebase. So of course you can look it up from Firestore's documentation. And anytime you want to read documentation inside Firebase, you can just command click here. It will take you to docs, right? Here you can click on build and Firestore. This will bring in everything, right? Everything you need to know. And that's how I came up with all this stuff, right? I read the docs and I planned for the app. Okay, so I hope you get that. So I'll go back here and let's try to make this work. And movie, what I'm doing here is I'm just getting this movie from the movie, right? The movie, it's here. It will save this movie right here. Okay, pretty simple. And if the user does not exist, just alert, log in to save a movie. Okay, we'll get an alert. Now the way to use this is find the p tag and on click save show, mark fave show, and class name, let's say cursor pointer, right? So that we know we are hovering over it. Now if we go back here, guys, it's okay. Now we see cursor pointer. I mean, I think it's already pointed. What happens if I click it? Does it work? Hopefully it works. Let's click it. Oh, did not work. Something is wrong. User is not defined. Yeah. Okay, I think we forgot to get the user. So this is going to be user, and hopefully this time auto import works. Oh my God, why auto import is not working? Okay, see, it happens sometimes. So we are going to say from context auth, context and user auth, and hopefully this works. And now if I refresh, go back and like it, wow, it just liked, but did it come inside the database? Guys, look at that, right? It looks super cool. You know what? We can see it side by side. So if I bring this here and put this here, we don't want this. And if we are here, and let's save another movie. And did I click it? Bam, guys, look at that. It is so quick, right? Next, let's save a couple of more movies. And then we can work on a profile part, right? That is where we can show all the faved movies, right? If we go here, I want to see all the faved movies right here, okay? So we will close this and go to profile.jsx, right? Because we will be working here. Okay guys, before we work on profile, I just remembered that we forgot to add those slider buttons so that people on desktop can slide this, right? For that, what we need to do is, let's close profile for now. Go to movie row, right? Go to movie row.jsx, and first let's add, you know what, we can add that later. Next thing, we need two icons first, okay? So I'll just say import, and this is going to be from react icons dot slash md, and this is going to be md chev left, md chevron left, md chev right, okay, left and right, pretty simple, right? And we will add this icon before slider, right? Left is going to be before slider, so md chev left, and after slider we will have md chev right, okay? Pretty straightforward, guys. Once you save it, you will see the small icons. So basically we just need to add some classes. So if I select this, I think we can add, you know what, just add classes to this one, and then we can just copy and paste them to another guy, right? And this one will have class of pg white, rounded full, absolute, left 2. For right, it's going to be right 2, but we will change it, right? Opacity is going to be 80, text gray 700, and we want z of 10. We want hidden, by default it's hidden, and group hover, we want it to be block, and cursor pointer. Now in order for group hover to work, we want to add group here, right? Inside this div, the div containing both the icons, make sure you add group here, okay? Then it will work. Now if I save it, once you hover, you see the icon, right? But it's not functional right now. Let's make it functional. Let's copy this first, copy and paste it here, save it. Now instead of left, make it right, save it, okay, ht, save, and now we can see both the icons, right? Super cool. Next, let's work on the on click, right? For now we can just say, you know what, let's just create the slide, and this is going to be offset const slider document dot get element by id. This is going to be slider, and slider dot scroll left is going to be slider dot scroll left plus offset. Okay, pretty simple. We are going to use one function for both the buttons, guys. Yes, one function on click, and this is going to be slide, and this is going to be minus 500 because we are going left. And as you may have guessed, for right it's going to be, oops, it's going to be 500. Hopefully this works. Saved it, refresh it, and slide. Look at that, guys, looks so amazing, right? And what happens if I click here, right? Do you see the problem? Because if you see here, get element by ID, every time we use this, first of all of this sliders have slider as ID, so it's picking up the first one. Okay, so we need to uniquely identify them. The way we are going to do is, once again, we are going to use math.random. So row ID, we are going to give a random ID. So math.floor, math.random, and multiply by 1000. So what this will do is, right, like we will get a random number between 0 and what it's going to be, yeah, 999 probably. Yeah, we'll get random number between 0 and 999. Yep, so that's that. And we will just add it here. So first we will add it here, and another we will add it with the ID. So plus row ID, save it. Now if I refresh and hit the slider, this one works. Woohoo! Look at that, guys. Smash that like button for this row ID and amazing workaround, right? This is super neat, guys, super neat. I hope you like it, right? So we have fixed the slider. Now we have a slider, a completely functional slider, guys. Now the only thing we need to do now is add profile, and then we need to host this project on Firebase hosting. Okay, so close this and go to profile. Okay, so let's start by importing some of the stuff, right? First we need some icons. So first it's going to be React icons, and this is going to be MD, and these icons are actually, yeah, we do need this icons. So Chev left and MD Chev right. Once again, this is going for we are going to use it for the slider, guys. And another one is going to be React icons AI, and this is going to be AI outline close. Okay, another thing we need is we want user auth. Wow, autocomplete is working right now. So import db. Wow, okay, cool, good for me. And we also want create image, okay, create image, a URL from services, and this is going to be movie services. Okay, and do we need something else? Yes, we also need this thing. So array remove doc on snapshot and update doc. Cool. So these are all the imports that we will be using for our profile. So first we need state. So first let's fetch the movies, right? So, and we can store it to our state and use state hook, and this, and we also need use state. We also need use effect hook, and I think auto import is working for all the Reacty stuff. And here this is very important part, guys. So this is going to be user.email. Now here we will just say user and user auth. Okay, that's where we get the user from. And inside this, we are going to check if user is there. We want to do this on snapshot. This is going to be a doc. So doc db, and once again it's going to be users, and make sure this is a string. So user.email. So we are using string builder, right? This is how, make sure it's like this. And after this, there is a comma, doc, and open this. It's going to be an arrow function. If doc.data, if data exists, what you want to do is set movies, Okay, what I think we spelled it wrong. So set movies. Once again, I used command D to rename both of them. So doc.data, and this is going to be saved. Okay, it was fave. Let's go to our database, and we call it fave shows, right? It needs to be similar, guys. So fave shows. Okay, awesome. So I think this should work fine. Now what happens if I print it out, right? Do we get all the movies? So go back here and bam, guys, we have 5 movies which are favorite, and we get it, right? We are getting it. Awesome. So what we can do is start working on the div part, right? I think it comes. So first of all, let's do this. Yeah, let's work here, right? Remove this console log. We don't want it. And another thing is also if user does not exist, right? If there is no user, return. Actually, it does not make sense, because if there is no user, you cannot access this page. But anyways, for now, let's just do it. Fetching shows. Okay, and that should be it. Let's work on this one. So this is going to be, first of all, empty fragment. Inside this, we are going to have a div. Inside that div, we will have another div, and this div will have image tag. Now source, once again, this is going to be this. Now source, we will get it from where is that picture? Sign up. So we will use this. So just copy this again. Copy, go back here and put it as source, paste it, and we can see it, right? Do need to add some classes. So classes is going to be block with full height is going to be 500 pixels, guys, 500 pixels, and object cover. Okay, save it, and it looks pretty neat, right? After this image tag, we are going to add, now this is going to be self-closing. So this way, right? Make sure it's self-closing tag, and BG black, and this is going to be 60. Basically, we are adding the backdrop. So top 0, left 0 with full height is once again going to be 500 pixels, guys. Save it, and we can see the backdrop. Another div. Inside this div, we will have h1, and we can say my shows, right? And this div is going to be absolute top 20%, right? Padding of 4 and MD padding of 8. I think, okay, nice. And H1 is going to be T3XL for MD, T5XL, and font and sans bold, and MY of 2. Save it, looks great, guys. Awesome, right? And after this H1, we will have P tag, which is going to be user.email, and save it. We can see the user, font and sans light, and T gray 400, TLG text large. Awesome. We have this backdrop, we have the image, and we also have this email, guys. Super good, right? Now, after this, we need to work on the movie row, right? We need to work on movie row. So this is going to be movie row. Here, actually what we are going to do is, we are going to just grab everything from here, right? So what I want you to do is actually grab everything, right? Everything. So everything inside this, bring it here, right? And don't worry about it, we will fix it, okay? So first of all, you know what, let's start fixing it. First of all, we don't need row ID because there is no row ID. And we need slide function, right? So we will go back, copy this slide function, and bring it here, okay? So make sure it's above if no user, and once again we don't need row ID. And now if I save it, does it work? Okay, I think it's yelling. Oh, okay, it's yelling for this title, and let's just change it to fave shows. Okay. Oh, I think it did work. Oh, movie item is not defined. Yeah. We need, so go to movie item, right? Let's go to, okay, my bad. Go to movie item. And once again, copy everything from here, right? I want you to copy everything. This whole div, copy it, go back here. And instead of movie item, I want you to paste. So first of all, add some spaces here. Okay, and right, if you want, you can put a comment there, but we are going to fix it. First of all, we don't need this whole thing, so we don't need to get the state. I mean, we can keep the p tag because, you know, just remove the p tag. We will add it later, and I think this should work. And this will need a key, which is going to be movie.id. Save it. Ah, man, backdrop path is not defined. Oh, okay, we are, you know what we can do is, let's use destructuring here. This is going to be genius idea. Title, backdrop path, and poster path. I think that should work. We also don't movie.title here. I think all this works. Guys, look at that. It worked. Awesome. We have all our fave shows, guys. Awesome. And of course with the backdrop, right? And we also have this slider, right? If you're more fave, it will work, right? You know what? We can go back and add some more faves. Let's add this. Let's add this. Let's add this. This. And this. Okay, now if we go to profile, guys, look at that, slider works. These are all your favorite movies, right? Now we need to add the cross icon so that we can close it, right? We can remove it. So I'll put this back here. Go back here where you see white space normal, right? And below that p tag, find another p tag, create another p tag, and this is going to be AI outline close, self-closing, and size is going to be 30. Class name is going to be absolute, top 2, and right 2. Save it, and now we will see cross on every show. Okay, now we need to make this work. So on click, what I want you to do is handle unlike show, right? Yeah, whatever, right? You can name it whatever you like. So we need to create this function now. Okay, and this is going to be the last thing we do, guys. After this, we are going to deploy this project on Firebase hosting. Okay, handle unlike show, and this is going to be async, and just say movie here because that's what we need. And what we'll do is const user doc, just like before. This is going to be db users. Once again, we are trying to get the user doc, right, so that we can delete it. And pretty straightforward, guys. Await update doc. This is going to be user doc and saved shows. No, it was fave shows and array remove, and this is going to be the movie. Super simple, guys. Hopefully this works, right? Hopefully this works. Now let me bump it up and see, does it work? Ooh, something is wrong. It says movie is not defined. Okay, weird. I mean, we are getting it from here. Okay, let me see. Oh man, I get it. It's because of this. I think we cannot use this. We cannot use object destructuring here. Anyways, guys, just remove all this. Just say movie here. And so we need to add movie in front of all this, our variables, right? And just add it, right? Like it's not a big deal. save it. Hopefully it works. Yeah, I think we are good now. Awesome, guys. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Okay, this is our Firestore, and look at that, guys. Once I delete it, you can see the changes happening, right? If we delete enough, there will be not much left. And guys, look at that. This is going to be empty. Awesome, awesome. And now we can go back to profile. We can go back to homepage and add new faves, right? Cool. Super cool, guys. Super cool. Okay, guys, smash that like button for Firebase and all this functionality, right? Guys, smash that like button. Okay, cool. And remove it. Awesome, awesome. Now, next thing what we will do is we are going to deploy this on Firebase hosting, okay? Okay, guys, now it's time to deploy. So I'll open up my terminal just to clear and make sure I'm inside current directory, right? Our project directory. So first, what you need to do is you guys need to get Firebase tools. Now I already have it. Just do npm i-g Firebase-tools. Okay, this will install Firebase tools like globally. Once you are done, you will be able to use it in any other application, right? Not just this application. So just do it. It should take a couple of minutes and you will be good to go. After that, after you run this command, next command that you need to run is Firebase login. Now I must be already logged in because I have used Firebase hosting before. Now, if you have used it before, you will be logged in as well. But if you are not, it will ask you to click on a link. It will open up a browser, select your Firebase account, and you will be good to go. Just make sure you select Firebase account from which you created this project. Okay, make sure you do that. Next thing, of course, we are in the project directory. We will do Firebase init, and it's going to open up this console. What you will do is select hosting, configure files for Firebase hosting, and optionally set up GitHub Actions deploys, right? Now, the way you select is hit spacebar, then hit enter, right? Just for this scenario. If you hit enter directly, it won't work, okay? Use an existing project, enter, and select your project which you created in Firebase. React Netflixy vite for me. And now here, this is very important part, guys. This is going to be dist. Because we have used vite, vite's build output is going to be a dist folder, right? That's why. Hit dist, configure as a single page app, hit Y, set up automatic builds and deploy with GitHub, say no. And now for me, this already exists because I tested it out. For you, I think you will not get this step, but for now, I'll just, even if you get it, just hit Y, okay, overwrite. Now Firebase initialization is complete. What I'll do is I'll clear this. Very simple step, guys. npm run build. It will build your project, right? It should take 15 seconds. And now we are good to go. And next, last part is Firebase deploy, and we will be good to go, guys. Okay. It's working. It's working. Awesome, guys. See, this is our link to our app, which is working amazing, right? Now, let me walk you through the whole thing, right? Once again, this is live. This is not my previous app because my previous app is not working because of API change, right? What we can do is, of course, scroll works, everything works. What happens if I click like, login to save a movie? Awesome. Now here inside, we have Firebase open on the right. Let's try to create a new user. So sign up. What I'll say is, okay, we can use dog at, let's say this dog works at apple.com, right? And here we can say password is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And what happens if I sign up, guys? Bam, look at that. We are signed up. If you click profile, you can see your email ID here. And if I refresh my authentication page in Firebase, we see new user. And if we go to Firestore, we also see a new user. Okay, let's keep this here on the side. Go back here and like some shows, right? You can see on the right that Firebase is adding it to its database, right? We can add a couple of shows. Awesome, guys. Now if we go to profile and bam, look at that, guys. Works completely fine. Super amazing, right? You can log out. We can also log back in, right? We are going to use dog@gmail.com, log in, and bam, guys, bam. Super good. If you refresh, it works completely fine. You can delete the shows, right? You can delete the shows. And if you log out and try to access profile, you won't be able to do it. Super awesome, guys. Super awesome. Now, what if, now you may be wondering, what if you want to make some changes, right? Let's say I want to add another X to this file. You will go back here and, okay, I don't know about this. I think, don't worry about this. I don't need to save it. So we will go to hero, right? We'll go to hero. And what I'll do is, I'll just say Netflix. Where is Netflix? So, I think not hero. We need to go to navbar, and navbar we will add another X, right? Okay, very simple, guys. So this is our deployed app, which has one X, and this is our local app, right? So just to test it out, we will just say npm run dev, and we can see that we get another X on localhost, but it is still not deployed, right? So how do you get it deployed on Firebase, right? On Firebase hosting? I think it's pretty simple. What you will do is, once again, run npm run build. So it will build your project. Now this part is really important, right? So that it builds a new project for you. And then after this is done, which should take another couple of seconds, what you will say, Firebase deploy again, right? And this should deploy your project again with your new changes, right? Only if it works, and it's taking some time. It's trying to upload new files, that's why. And we are here. Now if I refresh the page, we should get another X, guys. Netflix. That's how you push changes to Firebase, right? Once again, I'll show it to you. Let's switch it back to normal Netflix, right? If npm run dev, so that we can test it on local. If you go here, we have one X. What you will do is close this server, npm run build, hit enter. It should take a couple of seconds. Guys, smash that like button if you like this video, guys. It will promote this video to other developers who may be helped by building this project and getting their dream job just like you guys. Okay. Next thing we'll do, Firebase deploy, and we will fix it. Right now it's double X, but once it's deployed, it's going to be a single X because we made the changes, guys. Okay. Nice, guys. We are done with the project. Okay. So if you enjoyed this project, guys, hit that like button. Also, feel free to comment in the comment section below. And also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Links will be in the description below, guys. I personally prefer Instagram. So whatever you like, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.